global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. As Nigerians are watching multiple scenes or multiple episodes of the battle between Sowore and Nyesom Wike, Elrufai also seems not to be resting as he's out to make sure come 2027 Bola Ahmed Tìnubu is voted out of power, and this time around he has dropped what many people may call a bombshell. Others say it is one of the truths that so many leaders have refused to open up to. And I'm going to allow you watch the video and hear for yourself what the former Kaduna state governor said about the opposition and the fact that Bola Ahmed Tìnubu is targeting a lifetime presidency for himself. Watch the video. I'll be back with my colleague to talk more on this.
Honestly, Sandy, to me, it's a disgrace. I mean, for people to behave the way they are behaving. So it means that all the years of saying we are pro-democracy, we are Atiku, it was all pretense, it was all fake. And all the claims that we are fighting for true federalism and so on, it's all fake again. Yeah, because this government is trying to centralize everything instead of devolving power to the lower levels. But the sum total of this is that we are facing an evil of such a large proportion in the history of this country that if we don't all come together and end this Tinubu administration by 2027, Tinubu will try to be our Orbia. He will be president for life. All the signs are there. This is how Orbia stands.
Yes, yeah.
All the signs are there. So we don't have a choice. And you are our leader. You have done this fight. You have fought the military. You have experience in democratic governance. And when you and Obasanjo were in charge of this country, in prison because he has different political views?
Absolutely not.
Never, not once. Even President Buhari, with his military background, never did that. And here we are facing full-fledged civilians. But they are worse than any military regime we've ever had. So your call that we must unite is a timely one. I think the people of Nigeria have made up their minds that this government must go, APC must be voted out. What the people of Nigeria are looking forward to is us. We must provide the leadership and the unity of purpose that we've talked about. And I'm sure with your leadership, with your forbearance and your diplomatic skills of bringing people together, I'm sure we'll reach the promised land. As for me,
so, well, anyway, I know you're not the kind of person who is scared that will not, confront this situation. So, the more reason why, we should come together to confront this situation headlong.
Absolutely.
And make sure that, one, it doesn't happen anymore during the remaining part of this administration.
Yes.
And secondly, like you said, we send them out by 2027. Yes. And not through any other thing else, but through the ballot box.
Yes.
We have had very...
The statement made by the former Kaduna state governor has triggered so much reaction. My colleagues in the house, and we want to talk about it. Some people feel that this is karma playing out. What's your standpoint on all of this?
Come on, not. When we keep, personalizing this thing, that's exactly what the corrupt leaders like. The fact that when they start goofing and the person whose hands are also not pure now start pointing accusing figures at them, they'll say, you that is pointing accusing figures, your own life clean. Now let's look at this. I've looked at technically looked at this whole situation. If you ask me, I personally hope they would field in ADC or whatever coalition that will work, they should field Peter Obi at least to do some level of correction. But let's look at this statement made by Elrufai. I'm surprised that he has just woken up. Woken up in the sense that, didn't he notice before Tìnubu became president, that he has the ambition to become a lifetime president? When he put all his arsenal, all his effort to enthrone Tinubu as against any other person that was going to come out. Even he worked against Obi just because he thought that, I'm just being real here, he thought that Tinubu would field something for him in his government, but it didn't work. And he discovered that he has been all starting all teams, and hence is now saying, okay, let's do the needful. But let's also look at it critically. I can't forget that statement that women activists and politicians said. They said Tinubu said that when he sleeps, before he became the president, said Southwest sleeps. And we also know, with due respect to him, that nobody becomes a governor, nobody becomes a speaker in Lagos State without his authorization, one way or the other. You can't become anything political, especially key position,
even before he became
the president. You just even can't. The day you try to, Ambode that tried to stand like a governor, Ambode did not smell second term. There was a little fracas they had between Sanwo-Olu and him. If you watch, even it was showing glaringly that the president had issues with, until he sat back and entered. So the truth is, even though Bola Ahmed Tinubu has long been a governor of Lagos State for the longest time, as in for a very long time, but some people have come and gone, but he's still dictating the pace. And what is the possibility that even now, that when he leaves presidency, he will still not be ruling by proxy? And this is where now the fears of Elrufai saying, look, this is not the time to play normal politics. We have enthroned someone we ought not to have. And he has intention, according to him, based on what Elrufai said, that we have no other option but to remove. If we don't, we are going to be seeing those things we see in other African countries, where you see a lifelong president making it look as if there's no other person capable. That all depends, because removing Bola Ahmed Tinubu now, it's a very hard task. I mean, 2027, all the parastatals, all the government of agencies are already under him. Then secondly, the fact that you're going to remove him, you must field someone who the people love, so that it can drag Nigerians to come vote, so that it will be between the ruling party and the government, ruling party of the day, that's the government of the day, and Nigerians. And let me see how you're going to, stampede 200 million Nigerians at once. So it's not a time to be, and if they try to feed a northerner, it will still not work, because all just they need to do is to say it's the turn of the South. And all Southerners should remember that that's true, it's the turn of the South, and voila, it will. So if you ask me personally, I think whatever thing he's doing, he should go tell his northern brothers well, the likes of Atiku and Kwangwaso and the rest. See, it's the turn of the South. Can we marry someone? Can we just have some sort of agreement with a southerner that we know have the grassroots and the love of Nigerians, and sign some sort of agreement that you must only do one term, then after that hand over power to us? Other than that, I see Tinubu entering with, in fact, a landslide victory that will even be unprecedented like never before.
So, last question: what do you think will inform such judgment from Elrufai? Because I'm looking at it, a lot of Nigerians are like, why this kind of hasty speech, considering the fact that the president has not even tested his second term, and you're already anticipating him being a life president. If it's agitating for a third term, that would have been a reason why one should entertain such fears.
Now, looking at the handwriting on the wall, it has never been like this before, where INEC, judiciary, and other parastatals seem not to be able to function independently. They all seem to be under. Even the worst of it all is the fact that even the Senate now works in such a way that it has never happened. Even in the days of Saraki was far, far better. There's no opposition. There is no checks. We just work in synergy. In fact, we are an apex or an extended arm of the government. Whatever the president brings is just approved. Even things like suspension of a sitting governor was just approved. They just found something within the law to just give it some legal backing. Judiciary seemed to be mum. Things that even in the days of Obasanjo, those three arms of government, especially the two, judiciary and legislative arm, were very functional. So all of that, seeing it being within 2 years, we see security agencies all, they take instructions one way or the other. So it's almost getting glaring to Elrufai that if this continues, this is just first 2 years. Imagine 4 years, imagine 8 years. We may just be having these agencies as title, but the functions will be coming straight from Mr. President.
All right, that's where we're gonna leave it. Let's meet our commission on top on this.